What is graspy energy versus certain energy in your business? We all give off energy, and when you're feeling desperate or graspy versus certain calm and cool, your prospect feels it. Hey, Wealth Warrior. Jackie Almer here. Welcome to the Street Smart Wealth Experience. And I help network marketers make money without annoying their family and friends, so they get up each day and know exactly the marketing messages they'll be sharing socially and in person if they're in person, and how to build their brand from their own authentic self and in their own words. And this is powerful. We do all of this together in the Street Smart Wealth Academy. You can learn more at streetsmartwealthacademy.com. I would love to work with you there. Also, did you get it? Did you get my new video series on how to create compelling content and copy that not only sells on social, but is something that is evergreen, can be and should be used over and over again? Watch the video series, streetsmartwealth.com/killer copy, KILLERCOPY. We just started a training on it yesterday, and I would love to see you inside that training if you find that it's something that's a fit for you, if you're struggling at all with social media. Well, we're almost there. We're almost done with 2020, but is 2020 done with us? How are you feeling? One of my clients asked a question about why she wasn't having success online. So we did a little breakdown, I did a little audit, and it's such a great question that I knew it could benefit you too. So listen in as I do some coaching with my client.
All right, next up, I have Sarah in the hot seat. Sarah couldn't be on the call. I got a text from her this morning. She was all set to be on the call, but life got in the way. And so she's not on the call, but we chatted briefly. And so I'm going to hopefully be able to give this to you, unfortunately, without her presence being here to be able to present it. But I took some notes and I have the context, I believe, of what she's asking. We didn't have a lot of time to talk. And so, Sarah, if you're watching this on the replay, I know you are, or anybody else, you can certainly fill me in on a piece that I'm missing or ask the question. But the question is, I can't seem to get anyone interested in my business. Why am I not signing up more people? I am committed, consistent, and yet I talk to people and nothing happens. Sarah is in network marketing. So I asked some questions of her, like I mentioned, to get to the heart of it. And the first thing that came up for me, which it always does, is language. And I already mentioned, I've been dialed in on language for a long time because I had to learn to catch my own. And I just even mentioned it just a minute ago about the book I'm reading. And I caught myself, even while I was sharing this information, I caught myself using the word get a couple of times. And that's an energy word that I don't care for. How do I get people into my business? How do I get people to buy my products? How do I get people interested? Nobody wants to be gotten, okay? We want to be attracted. We want to be wooed. We want to be romanced. We want to be a lot of different things, but we don't want to be getted or gotten, whatever the proper word is. You get my point, right? So when we say, I can't seem to get anyone interested, that's a negative. So that's where graspy energy versus certain energy. Urgent energy, certain energy. Urgent energy, believable energy. Okay, so when the question comes up, I can't get them. Why am I not signing up more people? I talk to people and nothing happens. So language, I can't get anybody. I can't get anybody to join. I can't get anybody to buy my stuff. Okay, my stuff too. There it is again. Our ego gets in the middle of that. It comes back to, what are we making up about a scenario? What are we making somebody's decision not to buy from us mean about us? How are we putting ourselves and our ego into that failure equation? Okay, that's a big thing to pay attention to. Also, no one is, everybody is. No one and everybody are not real people. There is somebody out there who's right for what you have. It's just attracting them, wooing them, romancing them. Like I said, it's all of those things, which we're going to get to in 2 weeks when we start our copywriting part of this, so we can write that compelling copy that comes from your heart authentically. There's a formula, we'll be going through that, but it comes from your heart authentically that does woo and romance and deliver that solution right to that person. So we want to decide in our energy, are we goal focused on that goal for ourselves? Okay. Or are we focused from a point of serving our ideal client and offering up something for them that's remarkable? And that always creates a bigger win-win. So when we go into any situation, we have to do a check, do a body scan, do a check. What's the energy that I'm going into this situation with? Whether it's a conversation, a social media post that we're writing, an email that we send, a follow-up phone call, if we're creating a product to sell, what's the energy that we're feeling in our body right now that we take into any situation? Ask yourself, do that body scan, do that quick check every time you go to have a conversation about anything that's important to you. And really, anytime, in so many ways, if we can get ourselves conditioned to really be present, be aware of who we are and how we're showing up. I mean, I have written right up here on my little whiteboard, show up as your best self. That's one of my mantras every day. And I want to ask myself, how am I showing up as my best self in all areas of my life? Doesn't mean that I don't show up as my best self sometimes. Certainly I do. But if I remind myself and I check in on what the energy is around me, how I'm showing up, then I'm much more likely to come at that with a positive energy, with a serving mindset of how I can be a solutions provider to the person who I'm with. Okay. Creating results is best when it is easy, effortless, and elegant. So, who are you and who do you serve? And that starts with really answering that simple question. A sample of mine. I'm the premier coach for women in network marketing. I help network marketers build a thriving social selling business without annoying their family and friends. Okay, that's who I serve, and that's how I serve them. And that is a buzzword that many people are looking for. Now, I could shift that. I help coaches build a thriving coaching business using social selling without annoying their family and friends. Doesn't matter what service or product that we're offering. A lot of times as solopreneurs, we could have that tendency to annoy our family and friends. This is outside of just network marketing. If we approach things from that needy, graspy, urgent energy instead of that serving, certain energy. Certain energy is about belief and a serving mentality. So what I have to ask myself is, if I am the premier coach in network marketing for women, men, if you're listening to this, doesn't mean that I only coach women, but when I'm creating my messaging, that's a big part of who my audience is. And I sign up plenty of men in my coaching programs and have in my network marketing business. But I'm really dialing that messaging in, knowing that men raise their hands all the time. Okay. And so that's fine. But I have to ask myself, what energy would she bring into the room? What energy would that woman, me, being the premier coach for women in network marketing, what would she do to show up in an easy, effortless, elegant way? What energy would she sit down with to create videos and social media posts, to create the products, to coach with a client, to have a consultation, to have that conversation? What's that energy around belief and that serving mentality that she would bring into that conversation? Again, certain energy is about belief and that serving mentality. We have goals and we want to get there as fast as possible. That's urgency, and that can sometimes come across as graspy, especially in network marketing and online business, because there tends to be a badge of honor to get to the top quickly, to be celebrated for the multi-million-dollar launch, to be celebrated as the number one team builder for the month or the year, to walk across stage getting that big award. Okay, there's a badge of honor that goes with that, right? And so we have to monitor and be aware of and manage our energy around that. Certain energy can create that type of ease and effortless, elegant, award-winning, top $1 million business launch actions and results. It absolutely can. Certain energy can create that and does over and over and over again. In fact, most of the people who you see who achieve that, and especially ongoing, come at that from a certain an energy of certainty and belief. Okay, and that certain energy comes from a place of abundance and serving. So again, we start by managing and being aware of our energy when we're entering any situation. Why do I feel urgent? How does this potentially show up as graspy? What's the rush? Why am I rushing through this? And why am I having this thought? What does it mean about me if I don't hit that goal? What does it mean about me if I don't sign the person up? What does it mean about me if they choose not to buy my program? Okay, again, what are we making up about ourselves? Instead, we go at that as, how can I best serve them? When we're writing a social media post, what can I deliver today that makes impact? What message can I deliver today that says, I really want to serve you. I hear you, I see you, I understand your challenge. I believe I have a solution for you. How do we put that into context? How do we come at that and toward that situation of writing that social media post, doing that video, having that conversation, whatever it is, with that serving certain energy? Okay. And then again, how am I showing up as that ideal person for them when I'm in certain energy? And how does that shift? And how do I show up for them when I'm in that graspy, urgent energy? What do I know for certain? And how can I capture that energy? Remember this, there's plenty of time. There are plenty of people. Your ideal clients, plural, are out there. They're out there. So what energy can I incorporate into who I am to bring into that that's going to attract them? So back to Sarah's question, how do I get people? I'm showing up committed and consistent. And I quickly went in and reviewed some social media posts, but they're a little graspy. They're a little graspy. They're a little threatening. They're a little shaming sometimes. Sometimes when we create a social media post, even, and that's kind of what we were referring to, it can almost be shaming them, like, talking down at them if they're not using your product, or if they're not doing this or they're not doing that. We have to really be careful that through the content that we create, we're painting a vision of possibility. It's okay in the hero's journey. We do this and we'll be talking about this. It's okay to take people to the highs and the lows, especially of your own story, so that they can go, yes, yes, I know exactly what you mean. Yes, I have felt that way. I know that. I get that. So how would I show up with the energy for my ideal client in the best scenario? And what would I have to believe in order to be more calm, less graspy? And how do I want them to feel after each interaction with me? Graspy is fear-based. Certain is serving-based. And I see question popping up here. Isabel, great. Yeah, I haven't heard the term graspy energy before. I'd appreciate if you'd expand on its meaning. So for me, graspy is the best analogy I have for this, which is not one that I love because how we have fears. I sort of have a fear of drowning. I more have a fear of smothering and having my breath cut off, but I kind of have a fear of drowning. But graspy reminds me of that. Like if somebody's holding you down under the water and you're grasping at them and hitting at them and swatting them away, almost you're grasping your way up out of the water, or you're grasping your way out of a situation that has you tense or nervous or anxious. That's graspy energy to me, where you want to get someone in. Yeah. You're grasping at them and wanting to grab hold of them and hold tight and not let them go and convince them that this is the absolute right thing for them. So it's graspy is needy, it's urgent, and it comes from an egotistical, not that we mean to be that way, but it comes from a more ego-centered space of, this is my goal, this is what I'm trying to achieve, and I need you to help fulfill that for me. Need is graspy. Want and desire is slightly different. Want can be graspy if we put it wrong, but wanting to create a win-win, wanting to offer that right solution is a little different. It's a lot different, honestly. So hopefully that makes sense and you get a feel for what I mean by that. So again, Graspy is fear-based. Oh my gosh, if I don't get this person to join me, I may not ever find anybody. I might have to quit. It might mean that I'm a failure again. It might mean my family's going to laugh at me. So Graspy is very fear-based. Certain is serving-based. Certain is when you come at it knowing, I got something here that is special. I got something that is rock solid. I got something that is rocking the world of those people who are trying it, using it, a part of it, whatever it is, depending on what it is that you're selling. Certainty is knowing I am a solutions provider for my ideal client. I've got the goods and I'm here to deliver them to the people who are ready, willing, and able.
So remember this as you go into any situation, conversation, text exchange, social media, how is your energy coming through? Are you coming through calm, collected, confident, and certain, certainly certain? Or are you coming across desperate and graspy? Check in on your energy before any interaction, even before you put any social media posts out there. It's really critical that you get your energy lined up so that it's appealing to your prospect. And as a reminder, get my new video series, How to Create Compelling Content and Copy that not only sells on social, but is something that is evergreen, can be and should be used over and over again. Just go to streetsmartwealth.com/killer copy, and it'll be in the show notes. I'm Jackie Almer. Thanks for listening. Until next time, remember, hesitation never cashed a check. Good luck to you in your business. If you would like even more tips and training, I have a free gift for you over at streetsmartwealth.me. It's my guide, Unleash the Power of Social Selling. If you're ready to stop struggling in your business and develop a sales and social media strategy to attract your ideal clients, team partners, and create the success you dream about, grab the guide right now over at streetsmartwealth.me. You'll find more on my blog at streetsmartwealth.com, as well as my Facebook group, streetsmartwealthschool.com, and follow me on Instagram at Jackie Almer. And make sure you learn more about the Street Smart Wealth Academy over at streetsmartwealthacademy.com. I'll see you on the next show.